Researchers at TIPS, South Africa is falling behind in issuing credit guarantees to SMEs. A credit guarantee scheme allows businesses to get access to credit without having the necessary collateral or credit history. It gives banks or financial institutions a guarantee that their loan will be paid if the business defaults on its payment obligation.
Where we are issuing guarantees on an annual basis of about 120, 150 million. Other countries are getting into the millions of dollars. So what we are saying is that there's a role to ramp this up dramatically, and by doing that we will see a lot more credit going into the small business sector and improving small businesses being able to get loans from the banking sector.
Levin says more resources are needed to set up a credit guarantee agency.
The impact of all of this is that what we've seen from our research is that small businesses are getting less finance than consumers and the corporate sector, and it's really, really significantly less. So whereas other countries, the small business sector gets a lot more finance, we're seeing in South Africa it is significant. It's in the order of, I think, 240 billion rand. That's loans up to 12 million rand. But in other countries, it's 5-6 times greater than that. And when you have such importance around transformation of the economy and giving people opportunities as well as job creation and employment creation, small business then becomes a priority, and access to finance is then key in unlocking the small businesses.
Researchers also found that there's been a substantial growth of SMEs in recent years despite the economic slowdown. The formal sector grew by 25% in the past 4 years, while the informal sector grew by 15%. The dialogue heard that small businesses are active in climate-sensitive sectors and are also significant employers. But according to TIPS economist Shakespeare Mudombi, small businesses tend to have less capacity to respond to climate change.
So it's very important that we ensure that as we are witnessing the impacts to climate change, we take along our SMEs, not just as victims to climate change, but also as providers of solutions to climate change. So that's an important aspect in saying, how do we find ways of ensuring that the SMEs are well prepared for the impacts of climate change? Because there is that issue of being reactive to the impacts of climate change, and also there is that issue of taking an anticipatory measures to say we are prepared for the impacts of climate change. So in that space, in that action, we need SMEs to be part and parcel of providing solutions.
Mutombi says small businesses require intensive support and accommodating policy as well as regulatory framework. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.